Well, I got it right. I told you in my match preview that I think I predicted either if it's not 3-2, I said we are winning 2-1 down at the Villa Park. And I was 100% sure that we were going to win this beautiful game of football. And that's how it's going to end. Aston Villa 1, Man United 2. The Champions League charge is into the third gear. And I know in the coming games, we are going to really take it to bed because the next 4 teams are really going to be easy than Aston Villa. Eric Ten Hag showing a masterclass today and how he knows that he can be patient and really getting in results. And guess what? Rasmus Hojlund has been on target, and then Scott Mctominay is going to hit to score the winner for the club of Man United. It's much like Button close to 100 times, if at all. You've really going to hit to enjoy this win of Man United. And Rokan David is my name. United Matters channel is the place to be. To see to it that we obviously take it to where it's supposed to be in here onto the channel. Mctominay's late winner went ahead to give Man United the lead, and we went ahead to defend very well, and it kept us into a position of really winning this beautiful game of football. And guess what? Some huge performances have gone ahead to be showcased today at the Villa Park, and the team of Man United has shown what we call character, mentality. I told you towards the start of this game that this is the test of mentality. You know, sometimes games like this, you don't need to play well. That's what people forget. You don't need to play well in games like this to obviously go ahead and really do the needful. But I tell you, I saw United really control the game whenever they wanted to control the game, and they really surrendered possession and said, all right, let's sit back a little bit and really hit them on the break. And I'm going to let you know who really failed us to really kill off this game in a nick of time. And I have that player with me, and I hope you guys are going to side with me. And let's get into the match preview. In the 17th minute, Rasmus Hojlund put United ahead. Another set-piece goal for the club of Manchester United. Remember, when you're playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers, we scored a set-piece goal. That is it. When you're playing against, there is another team where we scored a set-piece goal. And again today, we've gone ahead to score a set-piece goal. When you're playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers, we scored 2 goals and they're really ruled out, and it shows you the threat we have when it comes to those set pieces. And that is courtesy of Bruno Fernandes going for a far post outside ball. Harry Maguire heads it to the vicinity of Rasmus Hojlund, and Rasmus Hojlund went ahead to really bag it home. For everyone who really believed in me, just know you are really the right person and you are really on the right channel to watch. I know most people are slating Rasmus Hojlund. He's a flop. He's not getting in goals. And I came out and told you the boy is having a preseason. I spoke out loud that Rasmus Hojlund is having his preseason, and in the due course of him, he's having preseason. He needs some 6 months to settle in, to get used to these players. Then else, he really hits the ground running. And guess what? For the 5th game in a row, Rasmus Hojlund has gone ahead to score 5 goals. In the previous 5 Premier League games, Rasmus Hojlund has 5 goals, and ever since the year of 2020, is it 2023? Sorry, 2023, 2024 started. Towards the end of that year, I think from the 26th of December, he is among the top scorers of the league. You know, he has 5, Darwin Núñez has 5, Jota has 5, Saka has 5. So it shows you how he has gone ahead to cope up with the side of Man United. And this is his 11th Premier League. This is his 11th goal of the season. And he adds that to the 5 in the Champions League and to the 1 he scored in the FA Cup. And I know more is still yet to come for this young man. As I told you, he's going to hit 20 goals. He's going to hit 20. And don't be surprised when this guy scores more 14 goals, all 15 in the Premier League, because he looks like he's unstoppable. Every time you get him the chance, he doesn't really misuse it. He puts it up to bed and he really takes it to where it deserves to be. Like, for example, today, he had 2 chances. One, he really had a very poor first touch, but he pressed very well. Bruno Fernandes got that ball and then he released him. But the first touch was really poor. But I think it was going to go in the net. But Diego Carlos, the central defender of Aston Villa, really deflected that shot and it really went out to a corner. This one, he just needed 1 touch. But it obviously goes ahead to ask ourselves, why is it that our centre forward only gets 2 chances? 2 chances in a game like this. Yet, we saw Rashford making runs in the 18 yards box area, We saw Garnacho do the same, and they couldn't obviously look for our centre forward. That is the hugest weakness we are having right now at the club of Man United. Amidst us having a clinical number 9, we've not got him into play a lot. Something that is really very annoying, that you are supposed to get him into play to play very, very many games in there at or in the final third of the pitch, and we should create more for this boy, because he has shown us that I can score when you feed me in. People have always said we need a number 9. I told you, United, however much they get in a number 9, and they don't solve the situation or the problem of creating for the number 9, we're not going to benefit from that number 9. That is it. So, Rasmus Hojlund, in a game like this, would have even gone ahead to get a hat-trick, but we've gone ahead to see selfish players playing off the wing of Manchester United. I think Garnacho tried to look out for him during the first half, but the defender really shielded Rasmus Hojlund very well, but we needed more 3 crosses like that from Alejandro Garnacho. And for Marcus Rashford, he never put out any effort deliberately looking out for this man. He just went ahead to obviously sit down players and really be selfish. And I ask myself, why would Erik ten Hag keep Marcus Rashford on the pitch for all of that time? Can I get an answer? One of the first players to be taken off of the field of play would have been Marcus Rashford. That is it. Take Garnacho to the left, then you get in another player to play there, because this guy couldn't really help us track back and couldn't help us really when we really get him the ball. I saw Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Menu get him into better positions of the ball, but he couldn't obviously deliver. But you saw to it that for the 20, I think, minutes that Garnacho played on the left, you saw to it that every time he was fed in, you saw the threat. And I think Garnacho registered 2 shots on target when he obviously was got onto the ball and really ran towards the goal. So I think Ten Hag got it right when he took off that guy, that is Marcus Rashford, and left Garnacho. Marcus Rashford looks like he doesn't want to really do the simple things. I told you, if you are in a moment like that, that Rashford is going in through, that you are most known for scoring goals and you don't really put those balls in the back of the net, just do one thing. Do the easy stuff. That is it. What people don't understand is that football is so easy that you don't need to force things. You are into space, you've run into space, chop back, look for a player outside the D of the 10-yard box area of the opponent, all else, run towards the byline and put in a perfect cross. But you tend to commit yourself and run into a forest of legs. And there is a moment I felt like I could really run into my television set where I was watching the game of football from and really go get hold of Marcus Rashford's neck and really give him a beating. Why? We hit this team on a break. Bruno Fernandes makes a run towards the byline, and Marcus Rashford chops inside and gates into what we call a forest of legs, So, why would someone do that? I saw very many times when Luke Shaw overlapped and Rashford failed to play him in. Yet I told you at the beginning of this game that all we need is to see to it that Dalot gets in some beautiful crosses and Luke Shaw gets in some beautiful crosses. I tell you, if we got some 3 quality crosses from Luke Shaw, like we've gone ahead to get from Dalot today or tonight, we would have been in a very comfortable position around the 70th minute. I think would have gone ahead to already kill off this game, because we are having Rasmus Hojlund, one of the best headers of the game, of the ball, and we've not yet gone ahead to utilize his aerial ability. For Marcus Rashford, I really felt pissed that he doesn't want to play in this young man. Yet this young man, each and every time he gets the ball, he plays him in. And this is where I really table an argument on everyone who says that Marcus Rashford should be here. Rashford shouldn't be here. I think he should find another club to go else and operate, because that mentality is not what we need at Man United. Inconsistency is not what we want at the club of Man United. And if at all I'm Erik ten Hag, I don't start Marcus Rashford in the next game we play away at Luton Town. He comes off the bench. He comes off the bench. That is it. Because look at what he's going to hate to do when he has going to hate to start. He has failed himself. He has failed himself, because in the game of West Ham we played last Sunday, he would have gone ahead to grab himself a brace of goals. But he just went ahead to shoot anyhowly. Yet he had all the time to control the ball and really shoot at goal. And today, after we went 1 goal up in the 17th minute, All what we did was, let's go ahead and really pack the bus a little bit, though it was a little bit of a high line. And you saw to it that Andy Onana came out to clear close to 3-4 times because he's a super goalkeeper, and the space between the halfway line and the goal line was really huge. And he came in through and obviously cleared those chances. That meant that we had gone ahead to obviously try to really invite pressure. Now, inviting pressure means when you get the ball, hit them on the break and beat that high line of Aston Villa. But the only chances we got, I think we got like 4 or 5 times Rashford on the ball, and he couldn't obviously do the needful. There is a time when he got the ball, and all what he had to do was to really lift his eyes, switch the ball to the right, and he couldn't. So when you're playing with such a player, your system will always have deficiencies because he won't really get you to where the manager wants you to be. And he let us really play an L game. Why would we have to play that L game? All that long, waiting to see to end that, we get ourselves ahead. Yet we had a chance to make it 2 goals ahead, because if Rashford had composed himself better, would have gone ahead to really win this beautiful game of football, even in the first half, because chances were there. We broke out very well, but he came out and really went ahead to really disorganize the side, and I really felt pissed about him. The other player that's gone ahead to obviously piss me off is Bruno Fernandes. That in the first half, you saw twice. I think in the second half, you saw twice putting our team in danger to be counter-attacked, putting in stupid crosses, and yet he knows that the entire team was going to hit to commit in the final third, and he puts in a stupid cross. Then the opponent takes us onto the break, and Aston Villa with Moussa Diaby and Leon Bailey, you obviously understand when Watkins joined them, they are one of the fastest players in the Premier League, and every time they really get that ball, you really get to understand that they can hurt you in any way. But thank God we really had to really get the winning goal. But having gone ahead to obviously do the needful and really try a lot and defend, in the 6th, 7th minute, we didn't survive. That was 60 minutes later. Imagine. An hour later, after scoring the first goal, we conceded the equalizer, and we couldn't obviously use those 60 minutes, a full hour mark, to obviously fail to really get the lead. That was really ugly of us. If you're Man United in a game like that, you have to kill it off, But thank God, something that I really embraced a lot towards the beginning of the game in the Matchday Live, as I was talking about what Dalot is supposed to do and what Dalot should continue doing at the club of Man United, was what was exactly done by Diogo Dalot. Some good ball. I think it was Casemiro who released Kobe Menu. Then Kobe Menu had some good footwork, and he gave it to Dalot. And I think they're all reluctant, especially the central defenders, that is Lenglet and Diego Carlos, not expecting a cross coming in through from Diogo Dalot. And Diogo Dalot went ahead to obviously deliver a very beautiful cross into the 18 yards box area. And guess who meets it? It was none other than Scott Mctominay. Heads it into the back of the net to make it 2-1 for the club of Man United. And when that went in through, I got to know we have every chance to win this game of football. And I really got to know that with how we defend, we are not going to really concede. Because if you had defended for the entire 70 minutes, all 90 minutes, and we had only conceded 1 goal, that meant that we are going to defend those remaining 4 minutes plus the 6 added minutes. Those were 10 minutes, and really get hit off. And I think the bit of that goal is that it really breaks the hearts of Aston Villa players. You see to it that towards that goal, before it really goes through and goes in, guess what happens? United knocks round that ball very many times, plays it back with the goalkeeper. I think Villa were okay with the 1-1 draw because they knew to it that it was going to take them to 50 points, and it could keep them into that position where they want. They would have been having 50 points because they've been having 49, if I'm not mistaken. So what Ten Hag did, he told his players, let's possess that ball. Let's use the high football possessiveness of Onana, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Diogo Dalot, Kobe Menu, and Casemiro. So we started to stretch them. And slowly by slowly, they went ahead to open up. And 16 minutes later, I think it's 19 minutes later, we really get the winner. And when you look at how that winner comes in through, it's us possessing that ball. Casemiro makes a very good chip towards the byline. Kobe Menu makes a very good run, and Kobe Menu gives it to Dalot. Dalot puts in a very beautiful cross, and it's in to make it 2-1 for the club of Man United. And Dalot had some beautiful, I think like 5 crosses into the box, and I think he's one of those players that should contend for the man of the match award into this game. If at all you're really a very objective person, you just want to give him that to take it home, because he really deserved it. He really played a very huge role. You remember the ball he plays to Garnacho on the far post? Then there is one he obviously plays in for Garnacho, and Garnacho tries to shoot. He put out, like, there is even a beautiful cross that he put in through in the first half. You get? So I really saw Dalot as one of the best players we had on the field of play. And did you see how he balanced both the defensive and offensive side? Now, where are those who say that Diogo Dalot cannot defend? Diogo Dalot cannot defend. How many balls has Diogo Dalot swept off the line? How many balls have you seen Diogo Dalot get off the far post when there is a player of Aston Villa waiting to haunt us? So this is where this guy deserves his kudos, and I give him his flowers for what he's going to have to do, and he's not stopping. I think this is like his, how many assists? Is it the 3rd assist in this season as a right back? Diogo Dalot is on fire. Let me check here and see how many Premier League assists this guy has. He really has 2 Premier League assists. That is Diogo Dalot, and he has 1 Premier League goal. So if he has 2 assists, I believe he's going to really create more and more and more assists, because this team is really playing and he's really getting into those final third areas very well, and he's really playing a very beautiful part. So for me, the 24-year-old Portuguese international, who is soon making 25 on the 18th of next month, has gone ahead to showcase exactly why he's here. And this is why I told you that if we are getting the same delivery from Luke Shaw as a left back, would have gone ahead to see ourselves in a much more comfortable position. On average, if we can have 5 crosses, because I told you 5, because I know that is the least any right back in the world could really offer. And Dalot has gone ahead to offer those 5 in the 18 yards box area. And you saw to it that his last cross of the game resulted into a Scott McTominay header to really head it into the back of the net, and it gave us the lead. So that's what we should be doing. We should be really widening the pitch and see to it that we do the needful. So when you look at Scott McTominay, he's one of those players that I believe he's not a United player, but he's always a goal away from really getting us to where we deserve to be as a player. So he has gone ahead to score his 7th Premier League goal, and I think no player in the Premier League has gone ahead to score more Premier League goals than him at Man United. And I think the next one is none other than I think Rasmus Hojlund, Rashford, and Garnacho. All of those have 5 goals, right? So I think for Scott McTominay, at the age of 27, he's like showing Eric Ten Hag, you cannot let me out of this club. I have the goals you need. How many times have I cut you off the rope? We remember when United was playing against Brentford, when the game was 1-0, he came off the bench and scored a brace to really get us going. Remember when this recently concluded game of Wolverhampton Wanderers, he comes in through to make it 3-1 when they had pulled one back and we are leading by 2-1. The game of West Ham, he doesn't score, but he has an assist, and today he gets a goal. So in the previous 4 games with the club of Man United, he's having 4 goal contributions, and it shows you how he's really good and utilizing his height. He's a towering of a lad, 1.9 meters tall. That's why he has gone ahead, obviously, use his height to really drive us to the promised land. And kudos to Scott McTominay, because that doesn't come really easy. But guys, we are close to 100 people watching in through. Let's smash the like button close to 100 times, and the rest is gonna be history. Please and please and please, let us smash the like button, and the rest is gonna be really history. So this is the game that is gonna hit to see United really secure its points. And I told you towards this game, and Ten Hag went ahead and said a lot about it. He said this was a final. We were playing a final, and all we needed was simple. We needed to see to it that we really kill off this game as soon as possible. So a final has been won by Man United. And what do we mean by a final? You know, if we lost this game, there would have been a point difference of 11 in between Man United and Aston Villa. That is it. If we lost this game, then if we drew, the point difference would have gone ahead to stay 8. We win, we go to 41 points, and that is where we deserve to be. 5 points from the 4th placed side, that is Aston Villa, and we are also, I think, 5 points. I think 6 points behind Tottenham Hotspur. I think Tottenham Hotspur was going to take the 4th spot. So that is where you wanted to. That's where you wanted to be. And the only mistake we did was not beating Spurs at Old Trafford. You beat Spurs at Old Trafford. You add 2 points to Man United, and you deduct 1 from Spurs, meaning that would have been having 53 points, and Spurs would have been, I think, like only 2 points ahead of Man United. But I know with the fixtures these teams are really having, I know they are gonna lose. Let me read to you let's see Aston Villa first, right? Let's see Aston Villa's fixtures and see who else they're really playing. Now, Aston Villa on Saturday they are playing away at Fulham, then they host Nottingham, then they will play away at Luton Town, then they host Tottenham Hotspur. And the beauty is that these two teams are going to play one another, meaning that one is going to cancel out one another. That is on the 10th of March. And remember, for us, we've completed our 2 games against Spurs and our 2 games against Aston Villa. Spurs beat us at their home. They drew at Old Trafford. Then Aston Villa was beaten at Old Trafford 3-2, and then we've gone ahead to go at their home, and we've gone ahead to win that game, meaning that we've gone ahead to collect 6 points from the 2 games we're going to have to play against Aston Villa. So on the 10th of March, it's going to be a very interesting game to see what this team is going to be really putting up. I just want to show you the next 5 games. Those are 3. Then the 4th game, they're going to play away at West Ham, you know, and they're going to host Wolverhampton Wanderers. Those are their next 5 games of Aston Villa. Then let's go to Tottenham Hotspur, the 4th place team, and see what are their next 5 games. So Tottenham is hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers. That is on Saturday. Then that game of Chelsea has been postponed. You know, there is what we call the Carabao Cup final. Then they'll host Crystal Palace. Then Aston Villa. Then they'll have to play Tottenham. They have to play Fulham. Then Luton Town. So you see to it that we really have a very huge edge, and I know we are going to really utilize this and really take it to where Man United deserves to be as a club. So for me, I'm 100% sure that we are going to really secure that 4th spot. The moment we've gone ahead to beat Aston Villa, the rest is in our hands, you know. The rest is in our hands, meaning that we can win very many games. Luton Town is what we are playing next Saturday. That is it. Then we host Fulham at Old Trafford. We play Man City on the 3rd of March, and then we play Everton on the 9th of March. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there is Sheffield. So when I look at all those games, I can really get out the game of City that we lose it. But if at all we can go ahead and really win the remaining 4, we'll obviously stay in the equation, because trust me, if we win those 4, Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur are going to drop points. That is it. And remember, Ten Hag has gone ahead to win another game of football, and I think February has gone ahead to be very good for us. Starting it up with the man himself, that is Eric Ten Hag, winning away at Wolverhampton Wanderers. After winning away at Wolverhampton Wanderers, We won at Tottenham. We won at Old Trafford against West Ham, and today we're gonna hit to secure a win against Aston Villa. 3 wins in a row, and we are unbeaten ever since this year really started. What does that mean? Shush your mouths. Everyone who was saying Ten Hag is not the best manager for the job, he cannot really do better. He told you that when I'm having my players back, I'm gonna really perform well. Now, for the games we're gonna hate to see to it that almost his players, almost all his squad is available, he has seen himself really do the needful, and you've seen it yourself. He has gonna hate to replicate it down there for you, and the man is winning his games. I mean, his injuries that are obviously gonna hate to surge, but the beauty is that we are getting in more and more players back from the sick bay. Now, let's obviously get into what we call the stats of the games that we're gonna hate to play today. 23 shots by Aston Villa. United had 17. They had 6 more. Obviously, you really understand that that happened because they were at their home. 10 shots on target by Aston Villa. 5 shots on target by Man United. And this is where Aston Villa were better than us. And this plays into the shot-stopping capabilities of Andre Onana. Now, Andre Onana haters, where are you at? Andre Onana haters, where are you at? I want to talk to you. Andre Onana haters, you've always come out and really slated this man that he's not good on the job. He cannot really take us to where we deserve to be. Guess what? Do you still have anything to say about Andre Onana? Do you know how many times Andre Onana is going to hate to keep us in the game? You know? Let me count for you the chances that he went ahead to obviously help the club of Man United stay into this beautiful game of football. One, that in the first half, I think he did it twice. You know, you remember that one-on-one against him and Oli Watkins. He saves it, though there was pressure from Diogo Dalot, but he goes ahead and obviously save that. And what he really put up was really very, very, very good. And it really gave us a lot as a side of Manchester United. The second one, it's a shot from McGinn that he hits and he really saves it. I don't know whether I can really get these and I really show them to you exactly in here for you, where Andre Onana went ahead to obviously save us multiple times into this game of football. Let me try to get these images and really flash them to you. Then I take you back to where is it? All right, this was the first save of the game that Andre Onana went ahead to do. I'm going to get back to the stats, but I had forgotten really to show exactly what this boy went ahead to do. Andre Onana is going ahead to silence his enemies, and all his enemies are really speakless. They can't really come out and defend all the hate they've been spreading about. Who says that this guy is not a good shot stopper? This was a shot coming in from McGinn from this area in the 23rd minute that would have gone ahead to be a leveler. Fists it and it goes out. That is Andre Onana for you, putting in a very beautiful performance. That was his first save that he went ahead to do. Let me see whether I can trace that of it's here. This is the other one. This is the other one that you guys need to remember. That's another shot saved by Andre Onana. You see, Andre Onana goes ahead. This is a one-on-one. The goal area widely open as you see it. Who saves us? Andre Onana. Smash the like button close to 100 times for Andre Onana because he is showing you exactly what they brought him for. Now, I want to hear those people that have gone ahead to to obviously slate Andre Onana. Go into that comment section and speak out today that Andre Onana kept us in the game close to 4 or 5 times in this game. That was a goal, but it was a one-on-one, closed him very well, and he kept us into the game. As if not enough, Aaron Ramsey, he tried to obviously go past Andre Onana, but Andre Onana closed him down, and that ball really went begging. But look at how Andre Ramsey had gone ahead to obviously expose us, So that is the power of Andre Onana, and I don't know why people hate this man, but he has gone ahead to obviously put in those short saves, and you're going to see people coming out. Although he did that, I'm not really convinced with what I was going to hate to do. I'm not really convinced. If you're not convinced at the beginning of halftime, at the beginning of the second half, he did this other save. You know, Oli Watkins goes ahead to obviously go ahead of Rafael Varane, hits that ball, and Andre Onana uses his hand and chest to really save this ball. And guess who really hits it out? It's Diogo Dalot. And I really like the way Diogo Dalot really marked this far post and did the needful. And you saw to it that in the second half, as I'm going to let you know about, that the injury of Luke Shaw costed us a lot because you cannot trust Lindelof as a left back. And you saw to it that a lot of problems are really caused onto him. But Andre Onana went ahead to put in a very beautiful save. Those are how many? Those are 3. There is another one. Let me see where the other one is. There is another one. Though Aston Villa wasted in very many opportunities, but there is another one that went ahead obviously see a save, and we couldn't obviously recognize the beauty of all this. So to me, I really want to give Andre Onana his flowers. He went ahead obviously give us the best that we deserve as a team, and I tell you what, he's a player that we need to accept that he's a very good player, and it's just a matter of time for him to settle in very well, you know. And guess who? Today they denied him keeping another clean sheet, but I know we are going to keep very many clean sheets. Amid this, Lisandro Martinez being a big miss in our jigsaw, but I saw to it that Harry Maguire came in through and really put in a very huge representation in there for you. So I had to obviously stop this a little bit and really show you exactly what Andre Onana had to do on the day and how he served us onto the night. Then 17 shots by Man United and only 5 on target. You know, it shows you how wasteful we were, and we would have gone ahead to have like 3 more, you know. But out of 5, if at all you really see 2 cross the line, then that is great. Then 56% ball possession by Aston Villa, then 44% ball possession by Man United, 481 passes completed by Aston Villa. Man United completed 380. Then 87% passing accuracy by Aston Villa, 80% passing accuracy by Man United, 9 fouls by Aston Villa, 7 fouls by Man United, 3 yellow cards to Aston Villa, 2 yellow cards to Man United, 0 red cards to Aston Villa, and 0 red cards to Man United, 0 offsides to Aston Villa, and 6 offsides to Man United. Then 10 corners to Aston Villa, and 8 corners to Manchester United. So when you look at how that performance was, we really did a lot. And guys, there is one thing you haven't really gone ahead to notice, that when we played Aston Villa at Old Trafford, where did we concede those 2 goals from? Set pieces. But they had 10 corners and they couldn't obviously find themselves seeing one of those cross the line or the goal line for the club of Man United. Don't you think that we are really good at really defending set pieces now, and we've gone ahead to turn out as a team that now really does set piece business better? So we score a goal in a set piece again, and we've not considered a goal from a set piece. That is really a very huge boost that I think helps us as a team of Man United to defend better. Let's go to the table and really see how the table really looks before I get into your questions. And I have one more thing obviously to talk about. How is the Premier League table really looking? Liverpool, 24 games, they're having 54 points. Manchester City, 23 games played, 52 points. Arsenal, 24 games, 52 points. And Tottenham Hotspur, 24 games, 47 points. Aston Villa, 24 games, 46 points. Man United, 24 games, 41 points. Have you seen that? 24 games, 41 points. Now look at Newcastle, 5 points behind Man United. West Ham, 5 points behind us. Now, this is how I told you at the beginning of the season that I cancelled Spurs and Aston Villa from really stopping us from going to this top position, because I knew there was a time when our players are going to return and we are going to really be dominating the games of football. And this is exactly what is happening right now at the club of Man United. And there is even a weird thought that we are 13 points off the team that is leading the table. You know, if Man City wins each other game they have in hand, that means we will be 14 points from the table leaders. Now, if a team that we are 11 points behind is being talked of being the title race, then you don't rule out Man United. I might sound mad to you, But this is the fact that you need to embrace. We are into the title race if we continue our run. Guys, if in the next 5 games, we win the 4, beat Luton Town, beat Fulham, beat Sheffield, and which other side are we going to play? I think they're having 5 games. I'm going to have to get out the game of Man City because it can go either way. Tell me how we are not going to be having, another 12 points to take us to 53 points. So, if Man United can do the following, go to Man City and allow not to lose. Host Liverpool and beat them. Host Arsenal and beat them. Newcastle and beat them. Trust me, the equation leading us to the trophy competition is going to be there. That is it. It's going to be there. Remember last season? You remember that run we really went on and we are like 6 points behind the table leaders. That was Arsenal, and we even had, I think, 1 or 2 games in hand. You remember that very well? So, anything can happen. I saw yesterday Man City leaving hit late, beating Everton. Lots of things are really going to happen. Remember, Arsenal has to visit Man City. Liverpool has to visit Man City. Sorry, Man City has to visit Liverpool. Arsenal has to visit Man United. Arsenal has to play away at Man City. So there are very many games that are still in the equation to see to it that United can obviously benefit. So I cannot count Chelsea, that is a giant killer, but you never know what will happen. But I think Man United now has everything in its hand to really take it to where we want to be. So 41 points so far. As I told you, we are now left with 14 games. 14 games, those are 42 points. Out of those 42 points, we need 34 points. That is it. We need 34 points, meaning that in the remaining games, we only have to drop 7 points. So, if we do that, straight into the top 4. 75 points get us into the top 4. In Premier League history, no team has gone ahead to obviously climax 75 points and don't get into the top 4. Why am I really looking at us getting in the top 4? Because I know even the 5th place team might get a chance to play into the Champions League next season. But me, as a fan of Man United, who really knows that you have to aim for the highest, then you attain the high. If you really go for the high, trust me, you can obviously go and really get in a below of a high. So you need to target the highest. After getting in the highest, you know what happens? Simple. You really win as a team. And today has been really very important for the club of Man United. And guess what? We've gone ahead to obviously kill off this game of football beautifully. One point to talk about before I really go into your comment sections that are flooding into the live chat is one, Luke Shaw getting injured again. This season has been really a very bad season for the club of Man United. You all know that, because when you look at Luke Shaw, he has been away. He returns, he played 1, 2, 3, 4 games. He's back injured. I don't know whether it's a precaution and we're going to have him away and playing against Luton Town. God knows. But when you look at the side of Man United, Terrell Malacia is on his way back. But all these are happening when you're not having that left back. And even Aaron Wan-Bissaka has not been available. That is it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has not been available, and him not being available has resulted into us not having a stable fullback. I tell you, if we had Bissaka and Luke Shaw really got an injury, Eric Ten Hag would have gone ahead to get in Bissaka on the right back, and then Dalot would have gone ahead to switch onto the left back. And trust me, would have gone ahead to keep a clean sheet, because when you look at how they started to attack us when Shaw went off, it was really, really very bad, and it was like a vice versa. First half, they used that left side a lot. Then in the second half, they used the right attacking side of themselves a lot, and the left side of Man United, because they knew to eat that. We had weakened that side as Luke Shaw was really no more. But you saw how press resistant Luke Shaw was and how he went ahead to put us into very many games. And I believe this guy is really a very good one, and I really think he gets back as soon as possible. But the beauty is the guy is going to be back. That is none other than Tyrell Malacia. He's back in training with Mason Mount, and I think in the next 2 games, I don't think that we need them. You know, Luton Town, Fulham, we don't need them. All what we need to do is we go with our team. We play very well because Bissaka is back in training. I know Bissaka will be played as a right back and Dalot as the left back. Then we close down very well. Harry Maguire is another player that needs to be given his flowers today. He has gone to obviously have a very fantastic game of football today. An assist and really putting his body on the line. A block from Douglas Luiz in the 30th minute of the game, and many other aerial duels. I think when we were playing against West Ham, he looked a little bit rusty, but today he has shown us that Ten Hag has gone ahead to keep him on the field of play for a reason, and has gone ahead to put in something very important. Guys, we are having 70 people watching in through, and let's see close to all of you. Smash the like button to 70 times. Smash the like button to 70 times. Let me go into your comments. Ted Mugaga, Great Day United. Kelvin Cabasso, United. Happy Chris. Wow, what a great weekend for us. Oyika Moses, bro, second striker should be Hojlund, understudy. I've gone ahead to obviously tell you that I don't want United to go in for an experienced striker. Why should we go in for an experienced striker? There is no way. And we don't need an experienced striker at the club of Man United. I've gone ahead to obviously get you this rationale at Man City. And that rationale is all about Haaland and Julian Alves. Haaland is going to clock 24 years of age, and this guy is going to clock 22 years of age. They're having an age difference of 2, but who of those is going to hate to play and attain the experience that everyone is talking about, that Man United needs an experienced striker? Man City doesn't have an experienced striker, but they're having 2 strikers who can kill off chances. All we need is get in a Benjamin Šeško, get in a Morayal, who was going to hate to score today, and I've seen even Greenwood get involved in 2 goals today at Getafe. You know, get in, is it Zikaze, right? That Dutch striker playing in at the side of, what's that side called? At the side of Bologna. Or you can go to Brighton and get in this guy, Evan Ferguson. Look at even Dominic Solanke, you know, at Bournemouth. He can come in through and really play that secondary striker role very well. I don't really agree with anyone who says that we should get in another striker that should get us going. I don't really agree with that. Now I'm having Oyika Moses. I'm having Amidu Kamara. Hey brother from Silarion, thank you for watching in Silarion. How are you? A big win for us, big win for us, and it has gone ahead to take us into the 6th position. We are 6 points off the top 4. You know, Spurs sluggish a little bit. We go up and win. Then he says 3 points is all what we needed today. Obviously, I told you that I've painted a win all over this game of football. Thomas Donker, greetings from Ghana. David, United should go for Leon Bailey next season. What a player. He was my man of the day. He's really good, but I think we have players who can really do better. For example, I think if you give Amad Diallo a chance, he can really outmatch Leon Bailey. That is it. If you get back Mason Greenwood at the club of Man United, he outmatches Leon Bailey. Let's all agree onto that. Then I'm having Philip Meyada. Wow, that's big win. All right, it's really a big win. Thomas Donker. All right, then someone is saying it's called Surprise Bleedy. That's so great for Man United. Obviously, very great for the club of Man United. Blessed Lars. Rokani Scott is still a hero in United, and we should still maintain him. I think one thing that Scott McTominay has that is going to keep him at the club of Man United is he's this kind of player who is not going to knock at the door of Erik ten Hag to really leave the club of Man United, because he loves the club. However much he comes in through and plays for 20-30 minutes, he believes that he's going to really be here. But I don't know the decision is going to be taken by the board of Man United on who should leave, because I think Amrabat and Eriksson are going to leave, meaning that we should get in 1 or 2 more central midfielders. And on Scott McTominay, I think Ten Hag will say, this boy is going to have to show me that he can come off the bench and really get me those goals. Maybe he can turn out to be our Darren Fletcher. Do you know what Darren Fletcher used to do at the club of Man United? He used to really score very important goals, and he was a very influential player. But I think one thing that Scott McTominay is going to have to improve is that he's really deadly, everywhere, on the floor and in the sky. He's really deadly. He can score a ball using his foot, and he can score a header. And I remember when you're playing against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford, he got a very beautiful chance and failed to direct the back of the net. This time round, he has gone ahead to hit it into the back of the net. Very good. Then we are having Aubrey Hachilala. Kudos. Kudos to the mighty United. What a happy day. I know all of you are really happy. Kelvin Cabasso, we are here. Thomas Donker, our boys have done well today in performance, but Rashford is too lazy. He should lift his game up for poor performance this season. Guys, if I'm Erik Ten Hag, I drop Rashford. I drop Rashford in the game of Luton Town. That is it. That is it. He is too selfish. He is too selfish. Very, very, very selfish. And in the previous games, even though he has gone ahead to score goals in them, he has gone ahead to do the same things. Very, very worrying about him, and I'm really shocked. And that display went ahead, obviously put up on the field of play, as his national team manager was in the stands looking at him, is not convincing. It's not convincing enough. That is it. I think he has been the worst player on the field of play, and I don't think in my next activity of the player ratings how many he's gonna get, because I believe he has gonna hate to really be the worst player on the field of play. Calvin Cabasso, how rate him if he will have consistency in at least 5 games this season? For now, I'm not convinced. He's talking about Andre Onana. I know, you cannot, in our language, you have a saying that you cannot obviously come out and really argue for what is being really slaughtered. Like, they are skinning the animal to really get what is inside, especially the female animal that is having like a baby inside. You cannot go out and really and try to complain for what is inside, because anytime it's really gonna be really put out. So it's just a matter of time. Onana is gonna prove you all wrong. Against West Ham, he kept us in the game. We would have gone ahead to go 1 goal down. He kept us in the game. Today, on 4 occasions, Andre Onana was into play, and he saved us on 4 occasions on balls that would have gone ahead to cross the line. Aren't you appreciative enough? So you're waiting for him to really make another mistake and say he has not done good. I told you. So when a player does something good, let's come out and really hail him like I've always gone ahead to do. And when he has gone ahead to do something wrong, I've been on the forefront to obviously slate him. Not so. So today, he walks away with a clean slate. That is it. Isn't it? Let's reciprocate the love when the goalkeeper does well, because he owns the mistakes each and every time he really doesn't perform. Christian Ricky, Sword Trafford, obviously they've gonna hate to follow the Sword Trafford, and I tell you what, they've gonna hate to really get to know. Smash the like button close to 70 times. Smash the like button, guys, for this win, because it's really beautiful. It has gonna hate to take us into the sky. Then I'm having Brian O'Willy. I love this team. Rokani, let's leave Mctominay to be in United because he has been good for a long time. Mctominay is the same as Chicharito when we need him. Guys, remember last season what Fred went ahead to do? Fred went ahead to do the same things. You get? Last season, Fred scored very many important goals for the club of Man United. Let me bring you up to speed and really get you his stats. In the Premier League, he had 2 goals and 2 assists. In the UEFA Europa League, he had 1 goal and 1 assist. In the EFL Cup, he had 1 goal and 1 assist. So, he had lots of contributions. He scored an important goal against Tottenham Hotspur, against Barcelona. This guy put in an effort, but Ten Hag said, there is no way I'm going to add him a new contract, and he has to leave the club of Man United. But the difference with the case of Scott McTominay is a homegrown player. That is it. Scott McTominay is a homegrown player, and him being a homegrown player, there is no way they are going to really let him out when he's performing like that. But remember, there is what we call a financial fair play, where we are supposed to sell players and really get in players. Trust me, if there is a scenario that sees Scott McTominay's value go to £50 million or 40, this club might be tempted to obviously sell him and get in players that are better, like Frankie de Jong or Onana. Let me ask you guys, Onana or Scott McTominay, who do you go for? I tell you on any day, I go with Amadou Onana. That is it. Amadou Onana, Douglas Luiz, Frankie de Jong. Who else? I think those 3 players, I go with any of those on any day ahead of Scott McTominay. That is it. Because when you look at Douglas Luiz, he's doing the same things at Aston Villa, and he's doing them at a consistent level, and he is a very good player. So I would go for Douglas Luiz other than this other guy, Scott McTominay. So I think it's really tricky. Deo Bahemuka, Onana Oye. I would like to see you guys smash the like button for Onana, because he's going to hate to do the needful for the club of Man United. Then Kelvin Cabasso, I agree with you on the striker. Yeah, we don't need an experienced striker. We just need to go in for a striker of like 40-50 million pounds, and let's use the other money to really get in 2 quality center backs. That is it. 2 quality center backs. Maybe you get in a Todibo and you get in a Goncalo Inacio. The moment our back line really gets life, you know, I think a lot will move in the better way. And the reason that's why I like Goncalo Inacio is that he can play on the left side of the central defense. He can also play as a left back. Then I'm having Nelson Mwesigwa. I'm late Ronnie, but Rashford should give a chance to Amad Diallo. Guys, I've already gone ahead, obviously, talk about that. Thank God you've gone ahead to let us know that we've been late, but I've already gone ahead to address it. In the between the 50th minute of the video and the 10th minute of the video, you can as well go back and really watch it. I've come out and really complained about Marcus Rashford's selfishness, and that's why I cannot start him in the next game for the club of Man United. Then Tony Milley, good work done by our players. Today, big up Man United fans for forward ever and backward never. Nice quotes. Forward ever, backward never. Some good quote from a brother from another mother. That is Tony Milley. Thank you for watching in, Tony Milley. Then Dennis Mamuli Aradi. Why are we always not recognizing effort of Dalot? This guy is recent past has been consistently been my man of the match. I've said it at the beginning of the video that Dalot is gonna be considered to be one of the players to win the man of the match. Overall, he was the best performer on the field of play. That is it. When you look at the many times he closed down those runs onto the back post of Man United, and how he surged in the midfield and really went ahead to create an assist for the club of Man United, you obviously get to know that he has been really performing better and he needs the hails. And smash like button for Dalot. Dalot, I've already gone ahead, obviously, hail him. Lastly, Alfred Nibigira, but the performance was very poor for the game of today. You don't like Scott, but sometimes. Who says the performance was poor? And I had forgotten this point by the before I really sign out. I've seen people say, we went to Aston Villa and we never controlled the game. Now, Arsenal controlled the game at Aston Villa. They lost 3 points. They were beaten by Aston Villa. Man City went at Aston Villa, controlled the game. They lost, by 1-0. They couldn't even score one. Now, people are coming out to say that our performance is not convincing yet. Teams that went ahead and really put in a very convincing performance lost, and the team that's gone ahead and obviously won the game is being really sat on. People are forgetting that Aston Villa has been one of the best teams this season, and it had taken them some 15 games without being beaten at their stadium. Though in the previous 3 games they're going to have to play at home, they're going to have to lose them. They are a very beautiful team, and for me, I saw us really performing very, very well. I think Man United went ahead and obviously performed very, very, very well. And whoever is not really giving us the recognition that we deserve, I think football is not meant for you. Football is not meant for you. Then Deo Bahemuka, the issue is the frequency of supply to Hojlund. He's better than any other strikers we are crying out for. Yeah, I've always gone ahead and really said, at the beginning of the video, I said that Hojlund was targeted only 3 times and he had 2 chances. He killed off one The other one was deflected by the defender. It never went in, meaning that if we keep getting him more and more chances, he's going to turn out to be one of the deadliest strikers. He now has 5 Premier League goals in 5 consecutive games. And I tell you, next Saturday, as we play away at Luton Town, this guy is going to go out and really win this game. He's going to go out and really score again. He's a goal poacher, goal merchant. He's clinical, plays well with his back to goal, plays well with his back to goal, plays well with his front to goal, makes good, beautiful runs. All we need to do is to see to it that he gets in more chances and he will get us those goals. Oika Moses, bro, Hojlund, for me, better than Haaland. I've already said it. I said it even before we signed Rasmus Hojlund. When I saw him play for the Danish national team and I saw him play for Atalanta, I really drew my conclusion that this boy is better than Haaland because he is really better. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. It has been nice having through. For everyone that's going to hit obviously watching through, thank you for being here. Kevin Cabasso, nice watching in through. Now, I'm going to the Rokani Media Football to obviously bring you the African Cup of Nations match day live. Then later, when the game is done, the final, I'll bring you who the winner is. Nigeria versus Ivory Coast is the game of football that we are going to be doing at the Rokani Media Football, our other sister channel. Great channel. Would you wrestle a shark or fight Ten Hag? I wrestle a shark. That is it. I wrestle a shark. That is it. I cannot fight Erik Ten Hag. And shame upon everyone who said, we need Erik Ten Hag to be sacked. Ten Hag should leave the club of Man United. He shouldn't be the manager of Man United. Trust me. This is my manager. He's going to be here for as long as he wants. Because when he's having players, he performs better. And even when he had people who are really incompetent at the top of the job of Man United, he's really performing. Now, how do you think this man is gonna work or deliver if at all he is given a chance to operate under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, David Bresfold, Joan Cloud, the CEO, Berard, Omar Berada, then you get in Ashworth, talk about Paul Mitchell to come in through and very many others that are going to sit with Erik Ten Hag and really get him the players that he wants. Players of quality, players of class, players with the right mentality. That means Erik Ten Hag is going to really do the needful and really shoot at every team and really beat them. Look at how he's really trying to really figure out results when he's really having his team not in the same way. But if at all he's having a 22-man fully fit squad of pure quality, this manager can win the league and he can beat any team and he can even go unbeaten a season. I tell you. So, I'm having Tom Smith. I agree. Shark is the way to go. All right, Tom Smith. Back your manager. You're a real one, mate. I back my manager and I've done this from the word go. That is it. Even when people say they are going to sack him, I told no one's going to sack Erik Ten Hag. No one. Because he showed us that he is a good manager when his players are variable, And people were saying that Ineos, we are wanting to bring in this guy. What's the name of this guy that was at Brighton and went ahead to sign in for Chelsea? Graham Potter. Graham Potter's first attempt to manage a big team failed. And you think they can dispose of a manager who has the best winning rate amongst all the present Premier League managers? Unless they are mad and screwed, no manager on the world market is better than Erik Ten Hag. He still has the hunger. He hasn't won big trophies at the club of Man United. He needs time. He needs players that are in the same ilk like other teams. Pep Guardiola is like 8 seasons ahead of Erik Ten Hag. Arteta, 2-3 seasons ahead of Erik Ten Hag. And I tell you, this, clip it. If you have a screen recorder, put it on and store it for me next year. Next year, Man United is going to be contending for the Premier League title. Though I really have hopes that it's not even done even this time around because teams might lose points and we continue really closing them in because the consistency is going to be really huge. But I'm 100% sure he's going to be gotten in great players. After getting him those great players, he's going to really get himself going. That is Erik Ten Hag. And trust me, he gets in more players, scouted well by the board that is competent. He's going to be one of the best managers in the world. And guess what? I want us to be in the Champions League. Next season, a treble might await. An FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a Premier League and a Champions League. Then Baloyi, really, we are smiling soon. We'll be there in top 4 watching from South Africa. Thank you, my brother, for watching from South Africa. Dewo Bahemuka, minus confidence out of this world. You guys, Menu is just a special talent. And I think where this manager of England was seated, that is Gareth Southgate, he really got to know that he really has a lot. Guys, smash like button close to 60 times. Smash like button close to 60 times, mate. Mkule Bernard, bro, the coach should give Ahmad a chance rather than playing Rashford in every game when he's doing nothing in the field. Guys, I trust Eric Ten Hag on his job. I know the right time when he's going to get in Ahmad Diallo. You know, look at how he brought in Garnacho. Look at how he brought in Kobe Mainoo, Dalot. Look at Casemiro and very many others. So I think it's just a matter of time. Then Dewa Hemoka, just enjoying my tea, happy after this win, thank you, enjoy it. And then Calvin Cabasso, nice analysis, Mr. Aradi. Guys, I'm out. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Good night, but I'm returning in like 2-3 hours from now with a player rate.